Hi, my name is EJ Bocan, and we're going to talk about a few meme mosaics that I've made. First one we have here is the Grumpy Cat mosaic. If you've been to Brickworld or a brick fair in the past year or so, you've probably seen this. Obviously, everybody knows the Grumpy Cat, and this is just one of my favorite Lego memes with the Grumpy Cat. So you stepped on a Lego, Grumpy Cat's happy. Good. Some other memes over here. So this is another meme mosaic that I just recently built. This is the first show that I've got it at. This is, of course, Batman slapping Robin. And, of course, they always say different things. But this one, of course, has to be Lego related. So Robin says Lego is too expensive, but Batman slaps him and says, adjusted for inflation, Lego is actually cheaper now compared to 20 years ago. So if you go to a lot of shows, you might hear people make the comments about how expensive Lego is, or, oh my gosh, this isn't how it was when I was a kid, but sorry, the truth hurts.
The memories aren't as good as they thought they might be there.
It's like going back and watching Voltron. I was in pain. But one of the things about this mosaic, obviously studs out, so it's not super detailed. But I did something different with this. So if you get a look at it from the side, it's raised up, and we've got a couple different levels. And then, of course, in the background, I've got the white with just red 1x1 round studs on there to kind of give it a comic book or comic feel, because a lot of times you see that that kind of thing with some comics.
Kind of add that interesting extra little detail there to it.
Yep. And it's kind of hard to see in pictures, but when you see it in person, you can see this. This is like the Batman slapping motion with the trans clear. So that works out pretty well.
And when you have a mosaic like this, a lot of your mosaics, they'll use a lot of similar pieces. So like the red pieces and this one and stuff. Where do you usually get those pieces from?
Like most builders, Bricklink. I part out a lot of sets, so sometimes I just have pieces laying around. Of course, like with the lettering, those came from the business card holders that they just had at the Lego store. I think they just clearanced them out, so I got a bunch. And I think I had to open something like 6 or 7 boxes just to get enough. I didn't have enough S's because there's like only 2 S's in a box, and I needed a bunch of them. The last thing that I want to show you before we're done is this one over here. Okay, now this is obviously a QR code, right?
Yeah.
And I think it falls in line with my memes because if you can, what I would say to your viewers is if you can screenshot this right now or just pause the video and then see if you can scan this QR code and see where it takes you, you will get a very awesome surprise.
Okay.
So that's a little Easter egg for you there, and you will be very, very. I don't know.
So this is all Lego built then. How was this something you kind of made a QR code and then just kind of copied each? How did that work?
Yeah, right. So there's a bunch of websites where you can just put in the URL code and it'll generate the QR code for you, a picture. So you can use it like for businesses or whatever. And I made this one. The interesting thing that I found while building this is I wondered, like, if I changed bricks around, would it take me to a different site? And actually it wouldn't. I would say you could change maybe 15% or 20% of what's here and it'll still take you to the same thing.
Okay.
So I thought that was really interesting when, I built that.
Yeah.
So you could actually take out maybe 20 pieces and it would still work. So that's something interesting that I found out about it.
It doesn't have to be exactly each piece for piece to still work.
Right, yeah. At least at this moment in time when there are a finite number of websites that can be made QR codes for.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. So if you saw that on the video there, you should be able to pause it, hopefully get a screenshot with that.
And no spoilers in the comments because this is a fun thing for everyone, okay?
Yeah. Make sure you try that out and see where it takes you. Thanks for showing that to us.
Yeah, absolutely.